This is the introduction of the topic Fiqh, Legal Maxims and Economic Theories, a comparison, which is on goal number 8, Decent Work and Economic Growth, Islamic Economic Perspective. On the 1st January of 2016, United Nations had introduced 17 goals for its 2030 agenda, which is known as Sustainable Development Goals, which known also as SDGs. This aims to reach the world's sustainable development. Our group has decided to make a term paper on the goal number 8, which is on decent work and economic growth. This goal aims to promote a sustainable economic growth and full and productive rate of employment and provide decent work for all. As for the rate of unemployment, Qatar has been one of the developed countries that almost managed to push this goal by having their unemployment rate at 0.1% of their people as recorded at the end of 2019. Plus, Qatar is considered as having the lowest unemployment rate in the world, followed by Cambodia at 0.3%. Sustainable economic growth means a rate of growth which can be maintained without creating other significant economic problems, especially for the future generations. Right, so why is this important? This is important as the world needs to move forward and continue to create a better life for everyone. For instance, the people in Malaysia still have problems with employment and the minimum wages for job, as the government should raise the minimum wages for the people. Next, every country must be prepared and realize the importance of this goal. Plus, the spirits of the citizen would increase if this goal is prioritized by the country, because the citizens will know that the changes would be made soon. So, let's take a look at New Zealand. Their very first woman Prime Minister, named Jacinda Ardern, has increased the minimum wage for the country about $1.2 from 17.7 to $18.9. So if they could do it, why can't we? Alright, to conclude, I believe that if every country take a small step to achieve this goal, because it is important as this goal fights for a better life for the people. People should have their money and spend according to the things that they need. And in order for this to happen, more jobs need to be employed by the government, and together we could build a better tomorrow.
There are many problems. 4 mentionable problems are: will be judged by their intentions, cannot be removed by doubt, the law can't be flexible, and finally the conflict arises. Problem number 1, will be judged by their intentions. People cannot truly be judged by their motives. For example, not having a person's own script or production, they tend to copy another person's work due to certain circumstances without having a negative intentions. It has been said that people will be judged by their intention. Problem number 2, cannot be removed by doubt. Innocent until proven guilty. For example, if a borrower claims that he has settled the debt and the lender says he has not, the principle is that borrower has not. What if the lender is not telling the truth for gains more? This will create problems in the society if it goes on a big scale. Certainty and its ruling based on certainty cannot be set aside by doubt. Problem number 3. The law cannot be flexible. Hardship where legal obligation will be lifted. Our law and legislature is not promising. People will take advantage of the law by taking matters into their own hands. Problem number 4. Conflict arises. Infringement disputes typically arise. Infringement claims may be coupled with other types of legal issues depending on the facts in each case. For instance, is common for legal issues such as breach of contract, products, liability, business, conflicts, or other matters. Then the second point is author doesn't get royalty. And also people will get misguided.
Now we will talk about the issue regarding to our topic. The issue that we chose to talk is about illegal copyright. First thing first, we need to understand what is copyright. Basically, copyright is an exclusive and assignable legal right that were given to the originator for a certain period. If a person owns a copyright for a product, then they can do whatever they want with the product. But if a person did not own any copyright for a product, then they need to ask permission first from the owner before using it. And if those people who did not have the copyright for the product use it without any permission and get caught, then they might face a legal action. Now we will see some of the example for illegal copyright. Nowadays, we can see so many people downloading music and movies from illegal sources because from there they can get it for free. And also, there are so many people selling pirated software and people can get it for a cheap price compared to the original software. And the last example is photocopy of textbook without any permission. And this problem, we can even see it happen in our university. And now we will see the illegal copyright issue in the learning industry. This issue has become one of the major problems that still happen inside our learning industry and in the university level especially. Usually, students who are getting the illegal photocopied books do it because they want to save some money because with illegal photocopied books, they can get it for a cheaper price. We will see two sides inside this slide that shows people that are getting the benefits from illegal photocopied books and people that are getting the loss from the illegal photocopied books. For the first side, the photocopy shop and people who did the illegal photocopy are those who are getting the benefits while the author, publisher and booksellers are getting the loss. It is a cruelty for these people because their rights have been taken illegally. As a student, we need to take a responsibility to stop this action from becoming a norm, especially in our country. And as a student, what is important when we learning is not always become the top student or getting the first place in class, but the barakah of the knowledge is the thing that we need to concern more and more important. And if the price of the original book is too expensive for us to buy, then we can try other ways to get it, like asking from seniors that maybe do not use the book anymore. Hence, we can borrow it from them.
Next, available solutions. We had been listed for available solutions, which are strict law enforcement, educate consumers, policy of boycotting pirated goods, and also controlling the maximum price. Firstly, strict law enforcement. Government has enacted several acts related to piracy activity, for example, Copyright Act 1987. This act has been enacted to protect works produced such as literary works, musical works, publications, and so on. The government constantly monitors the photocopy shops and takes action if they offer illegal photocopy services. Besides, the government will fine any party who is involved in piracy activity with appropriate fine rate. Secondly, educate consumers about piracy activity. Educating consumers is one of the effective ways to prevent this illegal activity. To educate them, the parties involved, such as government, can hold many programs. For example, hold a campaign to spread awareness and tell them about the impacts of piracy activity on economic and social. Besides, other parties also can spread this awareness through mass media such as news, advertisements, and articles.
Another available solution is carrying out a policy of boycotting pirate goods. We know that consumers have purchasing power in a national economy, including the students, whereas they are also consumers. Therefore, the problem of piracy activities that led to the emergence of dumping of pirate goods in this market is unlikely to occur if demand from consumers does not exist. If there is no demand from the students of these piracy textbooks, there will be no piracy textbooks produced. In this case, these consumer demands need to be emphasized because it will affect consumer purchasing behavior towards pirate goods. Indeed, consumers play an important role in overcoming this problem. By spreading awareness about boycotting pirate products can actually reduce the amount of pirate goods produced, as they realize how worth each of the efforts that have been worked on by all the original producers of a product. Last but not least, controlling the maximum price of original goods, which means setting the maximum price by certain bodies to prescribe the price on an original item. For instance, setting the affordable price for a textbook for consumers or students to buy. It is important to setting the best maximum price of an original good in line with the quality, so it will less consumers burden to own it. However, consumers need to be aware of the affordable price offers for a pirate good, because although the pricing of original goods is not as cheap as price of pirate goods, original goods will always better than pirate goods since they provide the initial production.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ibni Aziza Hanafiya. So I'm going to talk about the reason why piracy solutions are not working or do not work well. So there are some reasons why existing solutions are not effective in dealing with piracy problems. So first is a budget constraints. One of the reason why there are still many who do piracy because of a limited funds. Make students choose to hijack books with the reason because the price is cheaper than buying the original book. Besides, and not only that, pirated books are easy to get in many places. As we know that there are many photocopies stored, and it makes it easy for students to do a piracy of books. And also, some of them might not be able to buy it because because of the due to of the because of the price. So, like for example, when we want to buy a textbooks, let's say a micro, and it costs 100 ringgit. Well, so compared to the price for copying is only 40 ringgit. So the difference in price makes students choose to copy books instead of buying original books. In addition, student can use the remaining money to buy other needs, so they can buy something that also they needed. And moving on to the second reason is the attitude of the consumer and producer towards a piracy activity. So I'm going to talk about the marginal utility. So why is related? Because marginal utility is the consumer will continue the purchase for a product for a certain period of time, the old one, because it's been obtained satisfaction from the same product that it has from consuming. So the point is, because because these people get satisfaction by pirating books, and they will do it all the time. And also another reason, the limitation of the books mean that sometimes the book is no longer produced, and the that reason will be used as an excuse for piracy. According to Cronin and Al-Rafi, they were conducted a survey and found that 23.6% of a student consisting of a second year student, a senior and graduated student, they did not feel guilty about piracy. They feel piracy is a normal thing, because they often do it while still at a school or at university. And also because culture makes a piracy look like not a crime or like a serious problem. And also at a university, sometimes some lecturer even encourage action for students to photocopy textbooks for personal use. The reason why, because the lecturer thinks that it can be useful for students who cannot afford expensive textbook. And the last reason is the lack of fear of punishment. Generally, copyright infringement is encouraged to seek financial gain quickly by ignoring the interests of the creators and the censor of copyright. Existing penalties cannot prevent people who commit piracy and cannot ensure that will not repeat their action. In addition, efforts to prevent and take action against copyright infringement have not been optimal. Regardless, because it often happens, it will lead to attitude that piracy is a common thing, is a normal thing, and people will feel that it's no longer a violation of the law. So the next speaker.
Next, we move on to the solutions. To solve this illegal copyright issue, we came up with an application. There are a few reasons we choose an application. First of all, nowadays, majority of people have their own personal smartphone. Therefore, it becomes easier to teach the community about this problem. Not only that, using smartphone will also help in spreading awareness about how concerned illegal copyright issue is. Before that, we want to highlight the application specialties. First, this application is a free application. People does not have to pay to use this application unlike certain applications. Thus, it will not burden anyone who wants to use the app. We realize that if people have to pay just to get the app, they tend not to use it. Secondly, this application can be downloaded easily. People can download the application from the Play Store for Android or App Store for iPhone. It is commonly known that every smartphone nowadays are equipped with this function. So, how does this application work? Firstly, the users can search any books using the search engine in the application. Then, the users can download the book or PDF and buy it with a cheaper price. The users can print it or save it in any device that they have. This will save a lot of money since the price is cheaper than the pirated book. For example, if we buy the pirated book for 40 ringgit, then with this application we only need to pay for 10 ringgit up to 20 ringgit depending on the size of the book. Next, we will explain the other functions of this application. This application will be equipped with a plagiarism detector with a better quality. It is to help the students with their assignments. Not only this application helps students in assignments, we also can teach them that it is not okay to copy other people's work without giving them credit. Furthermore, this application also has a report section so that users can report any illegal copyright activities that they witness. With this, we can form a caring society. If the users report the activities, it will surely reduce the illegal copyright activities from occurring. Now, let's talk about the benefits of this application. First of all, the users have another alternative to buy books legally with affordable price. We discussed earlier that students especially buy the pirated books more because they have a budget constraint. But with this application, we can reduce the demand for pirated books. Next, this app is totally secure. This is because the file is available only to the one who purchased it. So, if they didn't buy it, they cannot copy the file. Not only that, before they buy the file, the users have to pledge to use the app prudently and responsibly. This is to avoid them from reselling. Besides, asking them to pledge will encourage them to use the app in a better way. Lastly, this application will support the author. They will get the royalty, and the author will feel that their work is appreciated. As a good human being, we should know how hard it is to be an author and how much the author put their blood, sweat, and tears to make it. All in all, it is hoped that this application will reduce the illegal copyright issues. Every individual has to take part in preventing this problem from continuing. With the right medium and strong urge from the authorities, it is not impossible to curb this problem. That's all. Thank you.